Alastair is a remarkably eclectic intellect, and he is able to look at literature from a widely disparate area and identify areas where his expertise can have a profound impact.
I was always been inquisitive about how things worked. I remember pulling things apart as a teenager just to find out how they worked. My grandparent didn't like me for doing that. So I ended up doing a postdoc which involved fluorescent spectroscopy, which required using synchrotron, which was a government laboratory built in the middle of nowhere. And I showed up there just as they were getting going. It was great fun, I found, just trying to make the thing work. We started getting some international people over. Some of them were from Bell Labs in New Jersey. Bell Labs was going to build new beamlines at the Brookhaven storage ring, and they needed help. So I thought that'd be quite good, fun and interesting to sort of work there. So I was the Bell Labs frontman at Brookhaven, sort of dealing with various Bell Labs beamlines, and one of them was EUV lithography. But there was a group of us who actually did the first experiments to print 500 nanometer lines and spaces with EUV light using diffraction limited multi-layer coated optics. And that demonstrated that the physics actually worked and you could actually implement the physics. This was a demonstration experiment in 1989, but it was only until 30 years later that the technology was actually available. First light in the ALS was in 1993, but there was nothing on the experimental floor. When I showed up in 96, the aim was to build new beamlines and bring new users in.
What he did for the microtomography beamline was miraculous, quite frankly. I got a big program with Teledyne to look at these new modern ceramic composites. And we wanted to understand how they fracture. These materials can operate at 1700 degrees centigrade. I suggested to Alastair that maybe we could build some kind of furnace that goes into the beamline with a testing machine on it. And I thought that was completely mission impossible. And he said, fine, we'll look into it. And within maybe half a year, they'd built something. And so we tried it, and it virtually worked first time. And we got the front cover of Nature Materials for this. And it was just a really spectacular achievement on his behalf. And it enabled us to do some really super work.
He brings a lot of different skills to bear, not only the skills of a first-tier experimental scientist, a synchrotron expert, but also he brings an engineering ability to just do things. And in tandem with that is his preternatural calm and relentlessly dry humor that he employs throughout any exercise he does at any facility.
The aim is to try to make a difference. I don't know whether I have done or not, perhaps a little, but anyway, that's what I've tried to do anyway.